strap yourselves in. I hope you all have something to drink. I hope you have something to eat. Something. Because strap yourselves in for this Monday Night Raw review. Go home show 2 Elimination Chamber, wrestling fans. I want you to remind yourself of that. Keep that in mind. That the Monday Night Raw that we just got done watching was the go-home show to the Elimination Chamber, and that we are on the road to WrestleMania 35. 35 years of WrestleMania we are headed towards. And this is the Monday Night Raw that WWE gave to us. First of all, are you excited for Elimination Chamber this Sunday? Did this Monday Night Raw, wrestling fans, get you any more hyped up for Elimination Chamber this Sunday? That's my first question. Let me know in the comments below if you are or if you are not. I'm sure the majority of you are going to give me a big fat no. And if you give me a yes, here's to you. Second, calm down, wrestling fans. Calm down. If you are a major Becky Lynch fan, okay, I understand and I realize what we just got done seeing. The boss, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, suspending Becky Lynch for 60 days, which means that will be 5 days past WrestleMania 35. And just put Charlotte in there. Put Charlotte right into the main event of WrestleMania. There's no real good explanation why he would move Charlotte from SmackDown over to Raw. Nothing outside of we need somebody with class and character and all this stuff that he was saying. Somebody that can get the job done and all that. Somebody that can give Ronda Rousey a good fight. Somebody that at the end of WrestleMania 35, you will get used to seeing this. The new Raw Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch, you are not bigger than the WWE. I am the man. All Vince McMahon's words tonight. Not accepting Becky Lynch's apology. Well, wrestling fans, if you are a Becky Lynch fan, don't worry. She'll be at WrestleMania and it'll be a triple threat match. And I am hoping that at the end of WrestleMania 35, WWE makes the right decision and gives Becky Lynch her moment. Now, with that being said, some of you might be saying, why is Webby upset? You said a few weeks ago that Charlotte being in the championship matchup is not going to do any harm to the matchup. It won't do any harm to WrestleMania 35's main event. It will probably add an extra dynamic to the match. It will still be a good contest. So why in the world are you so upset? I'm not griping, moaning, droning, and complaining that Charlotte is in that main event spot. What I am upset with is how she got put in it, because that booking, that storytelling of how Charlotte got put in there sucked. They could have had some type of tournament or something that led up to Fastlane. Bam! Once Fastlane got here, it was named. And Charlotte could have been the winner of that tournament. Could have done that. Walks in that spot to take Becky Lynch's place. Still, some form or fashion, Becky Lynch finds her way back into the main event of WrestleMania 35. And we have our triple threat matchup. It's as simple as that. But WWE decides to do this. They decide to do this. Who is okay with this garbage? How can you be okay with this? Does it make any sense whatsoever? No. Outside of it's Vince McMahon and he's doing whatever he wants, and Vince McMahon is pulling his political strings and putting in his golden girl. That's it. I would love for somebody in the comments below to dispute that is not a Becky Lynch fan, that is purely a Charlotte fan, to dispute anything that I am saying right now. I can't believe this garbage. We'll have to wait and see how Becky Lynch gets into the main event spot again. See how that works out. But as of right now, they took my excitement level of this main event of WrestleMania 35 from here to down here instantly. That's just me. As far as the other WrestleMania main event, we had Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins out in the squared circle tonight, having a confrontation talking segment. Seth Rollins comes out and talks about how he's hurting. He's aching. Whether it's the 15-year career so far or if it's the 6 F5s that he took a couple weeks ago. After he had the week of a lifetime, the night of his life, living his dream, pointing to the WrestleMania sign, main eventing, punching his ticket, on his way to WrestleMania 35. And all of a sudden we see Paul Heyman come out. He teases Brock Lesnar being there, which he wasn't, as we all knew he was not going to be. And Paul Heyman went on this spew about how Seth Rollins does not need to go out there and have the fight of his life like it's his last match, because if he does, he's going to lose. Don't go out there and actually think that your DNA is the same as Brock Lesnar's. amongst some other things. The gist of this whole thing was Seth Rollins made a comeback saying that he does not care. He will sell his soul to the devil. He's going to walk through hell. He's going to do all these things to make sure that Brock Lesnar does not walk out of WrestleMania 35 still the Universal Champion. Someone that has held up the WWE hostage for the last 2 years, he said in the interview. And quite frankly, this match is going to be so much better, I have a feeling, than the build towards it. It just is. It's going to be. Now, if we would see Brock Lesnar on TV more coming out and we see Seth Rollins attacking him and things of that nature and them actually building it up like that, that would be a different story. But instead, what we're going to see is Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins doing more of these promos all the way through WrestleMania season up until the last probably couple of weeks of the build to WrestleMania. I mean, let's just be honest. And it's going to make a drag. So the only way they can enhance this is if Seth Rollins curve stomps Paul Heyman or does that one knee that he always does to superstars or something of that nature, attacking Paul Heyman or something. Bringing out a more aggressive side of Seth Rollins. Going to be a good contest come WrestleMania, though. I will say that. Now, moving on with this Monday Night Raw that really was just a whatever show. A whatever show. A show that if you missed, it's like, okay, go and check out the highlights. Because they spent the entire time, the entire 3 hours building up this I'm sorry segment at the end that lasted a whole 3 minutes. That was it. That is what they really built up to. You had Elias and Lucha. The Lucha House Party come out, and this was absolutely ridiculous. So you take Elias. Wrestling fans, you tell me if you think this is a good way to use Elias. You tell me if WWE Creative is walking with Elias. They take Elias and they have him go out there and for 2 weeks beat up Jeff Jarrett. And then go out there and walk with the Lucha House Party and sing with the Lucha House Party and then take a guitar and hit Kalisto in the back. How much of this is exciting? How much of this is really using Kalisto, the Lucha House Party, and the Walking with Elias gimmick to its full potential? Seriously. Elias should be in championship rivalry right now. He should have already been Intercontinental Champion by now. This is ridiculous that he is not. Absolutely horrible. I have nothing else to say about this, except it's a waste of time. Speaking of a waste of time, how about that 6-man tag team match where we had Kurt Angle, we had, yours truly, Braun Strowman, the monster among losers, and Finn Balor. And they took on Drew McIntyre, the almighty Cringely, and Baron Corbin, or Constable Corbin, or whatever you want to call him these days. Look, it's as simple as this. This was about 45 minutes of a big waste of time. Because it started with Drew McIntyre and Finn Balor, which ended in a disqualification because of interference by almighty Cringely. And we went from that to Braun Strowman coming down and Kurt Angle coming down and everybody just coming down and getting into one big cluster. And then it ended up being in a 6-man tag. Who cares? In the end, Finn Balor, Kurt Angle, and Braun Strowman victorious. Honestly, throughout this entire matchup, I went and got something to eat, I got something to drink, and I took a bathroom break. Because I just simply did not care. Because how many times did we have to see the same 6-man tag team match in some form or fashion? And speaking of things that WWE does that really just wrestling fans, not too long ago they brought some superstars up. You had EC3, you had Nikki Cross, Heavy Machinery, Lars Sullivan was mentioned, which can't wait till he debuts, see what he does. But you had EC3 and Nikki Cross go out there tonight. Nikki Cross took on Ruby Riott. WWE, how much sense does this make? How much sense does this make? None. Absolutely none. You just bring them up and you are just putting them out there to get them exposed to the audience as far as wrestling ability. The worst thing you can do is put them out there and give them losses. Now, I forget. Some of you are going to say, well, wins and losses don't matter. Wins and losses, I don't care if this is professional wrestling or not. Wins and losses matter. Okay? You stick somebody out there, they lose, especially when they're fresh, new talent. What are people going to think about them? They are losers. They don't belong on the main roster. You stuck Nikki Cross out there against Ruby Riott so she could lay down and lose so Ruby Riott could look strong on her way to face Ronda Rousey this Sunday at Elimination Chamber. And you know, wrestling fans, my preview and predictions is going to be this Wednesday of Elimination Chamber. But let me tell you, tonight, Vince McMahon, you pretty much made it worthless. Absolutely worthless. Absolutely useless to even care about Ruby Riott and Ronda Rousey. As if we already knew who was going to win anyway in that matchup with Ruby Riott and Ronda Rousey's match because of WrestleMania, Becky Lynch and Ronda's rivalry. Now you stick Charlotte in it. Yeah, all three of them. Well, does anybody think anyone on the way to WrestleMania stands a chance against Ronda? No. Now, really. I'm speechless almost. I am literally having a hard time getting through this review. That's how bad this Raw was. Seriously, this Raw was horrible. Having a hard time getting through this. I mean, Revival beat Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. Okay, it took them 4 opportunities to do it. So what's going to happen now? Sunday, we're going to get a rematch. I hope the Revival is victorious and they retain their tag team championships. You know how WWE works, though, wrestling fans. They like to flip-flop tag team championships very quickly. Don't see that happening this time. We all know the reason why. But, look, Revival, keep titles this Sunday if that's the direction WWE goes. And really, other than that, the Riot Squad took on Tamina and Nia and Bayley because Sasha Banks wasn't really even out there. And I like the fact that they took all the teams that's going to be in the Elimination Chamber this Sunday and put them in a tag team matchup. That's great. One of the things, though, that was always special about the Elimination Chamber is the fact that we never knew who was coming out of the pods first. We never knew who was going to start the Elimination Chamber. That was one of the things that was special. Tonight, WWE pretty much took that and tossed it out the window. We know Bayley and Sasha Banks are now starting the Boston Hug Connection. What's that mean? We're more than likely going to see them battle everybody and then end up capturing the tag team championships. That's kind of the direction I see it going. But you all let me know what you're thinking about that. Comments below. Don't forget to become a subscriber today. Join me tomorrow for SmackDown Live review. if you made it through all of this review, which honestly, I will admit was a little scattered because, quite frankly, this Monday Night Raw was scattered. Hopefully, tomorrow night, when we have that huge gauntlet between all 6 competitors that they advertised over tonight on Raw, they advertised a huge gauntlet with all 6 competitors being in the Elimination Chamber matchup. That sounds very interesting. Plus, the Miz TV show that they're doing with the Usos. See what happens with that as well. But until I see you then, catch you on the other side.